Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to this Saturday Chameleon workshop. Thank you, everybody, for coming on in and saying hello. Let me go check the chat for anybody who is watching this on the replay. Just know that this happens every Saturday as a live, and you are welcome to come join us 12 noon Pacific every Saturday, and you can be part of the live studio audience. So welcome, everybody. That male brevicorn is growing up. Oh, Steve's talking about the thumbnail. That actually is a Kaluma crypticum from Madagascar. So that is not mine, although he is growing up. And and I need to bring him on to say hello to everybody. So let's see. I'm going to be saying hello. Hello, we got Misty Mountain fans. We got Yvette here. And everybody, let's see. I'm going to be bringing up my presentation because we do have a presentation today. Just give you the update as to what's going on. We have some community updates. So let's see, where are they? Let's bring this on up. How is everybody doing today? We've started the weekend. So let's see. Bill, I have been gorging myself in the podcast lately. Excellent. So grateful for all the work you put into them. I am glad you are enjoying them. Stephanie, hello. Hey, yeah, we got some stuff to share from Stephanie. But all right. So, yes, this is what Steve Hefner was referring to. This is actually a male Kaluma crypticum that was in Madagascar. Now, crypticum and brevicorn are very similar. It's very difficult to tell them apart. The only way I can tell them apart is because I know where I was. And so I knew that this was crypticum because of where I was. It's crypticum and brevicorn are so difficult to tell apart. It's kind of like those mini Kaluma, Linotum, Botgeri. All of those are really difficult to tell the difference. So, oh, Alicia, can't wait to hear about your new baby. Well, you know what, Janet? I actually have pictures of that new baby. And so I'm going to show them all here. But let's go ahead and see what we've got here. First of all, whoa, there it is. This is Alicia's new baby. For those who, just a little recap, Alicia's been with us for many, many, many months, and she had an egg which just was late to hatching, and when it just didn't work out. So Alicia decided that she was going to get a well-started juvenile chameleon from a reputable breeder. And so we want to celebrate with Alicia the arrival of Cash, who is a beautiful ambilobe panther chameleon. Thank you, Alicia, for sharing, and we're very happy. It was a rough rough getting here, but we were like how the story ends. So, hey, Flick from Ireland, hello. There we go. Beautiful panther. Richard Russell, I don't think he's here today, but his egg is starting to hatch. Now, I don't know I haven't gotten an update. This was yesterday, so I don't know the condition of that baby coming out. So we wish you the best. This is often the time where the baby comes out and is too weak, and so it's disappointing, or else the baby comes out like gangbusters and everybody says wow. So that's the difficulty of having an egg. But we are obviously wishing Richard the best with this and look forward to an update. So and Stephanie has given us a gift of some beautiful chameleon photography. And so I think we ought to just enjoy. There's a little helmeted chameleon, Trioceras honellii. I say that different every single time, I tell you. Nocifali. That's a Nocifali panther chameleon. So, woof. And This is a banana man. Apparently, I had two banana mans, but this is a banana man. This is a yellow giant Parsons chameleon. Looks absolutely gorgeous. These guys are incredible, and he is doing great. Look at those eyes, that marigold eyes. Ah, love it. Love it. So, thank you, Stephanie, for sharing these. And I got a couple more of them, so I'll spread them out throughout the next weeks. So, uh, update on the 10th anniversary celebration. We have quite a group coming, and so I'm really happy about that. I can't wait to meet you all in person. Let's go over a couple of things here. The Timpanogos caves, which we're going to do Friday morning, that's at maximum capacity. So if you are deciding to come now, there will be things that we won't be able to get into if you decide you want to come. Now, you'll be able to come to the main event, no problem. So let's see, the dinner Friday night. Of course, we're still working on the location there. And if you've signed up and said you're going to the event, Eliza is going to be sending you emails and guiding you in and letting you know what to do and when to do it, which is wonderful. Saturday morning, Coffee with James. Of course, this is going to be a highlight of the weekend. And so if you come in Friday night, make sure you're having your coffee with James at Saturday a.m. The address will be sent out to the people who RSVP. Saturday a.m. We're planning on going to the Homestead Crater, but they don't have time slots open, so we're going to be changing what we're doing Saturday morning. To be determined. Hang tight. We're going to get back to you on that one. And Dinosaur Museum in the afternoon. And then the Saturday evening, that's the official celebration at Clint's Reptile Room in Springville, Utah. That's from 5 o'clock to 9 p.m. And we get the reptile room to ourselves. We get to see all the reptiles. Not sure if Clint's going to be there or not. Depends upon his travel schedule. But the reptiles will be there, and we get to see them. So we are going to enjoy that. So if you can sign up, and here is the QR code. If you are watching on your TV or something, you can access this. If not, send me an email to the email below. You can RSVP. Not all the events are available now because some of those reservations have closed, but the main event on Saturday is still open for you to RSVP. And of course, Coffee with James and the dinners are fine as well. So you can just go ahead, click that, and join us. All right, everybody. The news is good that the books are going to be coming in earlier than expected. So they're going to be in next week early. I got a couple advanced, but no, not my big books, big stack. So those are coming in early next week. So we can have the live book signing on June 7th. If you have ordered a book, they'll be coming in next week. And if you wanted a signature, then we will be doing that next Saturday at 12 noon, just like this right here. And it's probably going to be a little bit more than just an episode. I'm going to be signing the books, and so I'm going to be having James and Sean McNeely. They're going to be the official hosts, so I can sign away and they can take care of things. We're going to be having some giveaways. So there's at least a carpet chameleon from Nick Unz that is going to be as a giveaway, so you can sign up for that. There will be a Europlatus Fantasticus from Misty Mountain Fance as the giveaway. And on these, by the way, the asterisk is that the winner is willing to pay for shipping, but the animal is free to the winner. And so we're getting things all together. For this book signing. It's going to be a little bit of a mid-year party. Let's see. I'll check chat here, make sure I don't get too far out of line here. Stephanie says, I can't wait. We get to see James and Sean. Well, yes, you get to see them. Are we still meeting at Barnes & Noble to do the book signing? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to be in my little studio, but I like the way you're thinking. I like it. Oh, yeah. You'll get to see James and Sean next week, but we still have to all pressure Sean into coming to the event in Utah. Yes. James 3 is here. Hello, James. Wayne had wanted to get the book this week, but somehow had two different lamps blow. All right. All right. Woof. All right. And yeah, James has got to dance. Hello, Mike. Welcome. Yeah, Sean needs to come to Utah. So everybody, we got to make sure that Sean comes to Utah. Ryan said McZoo isn't coming to Utah. He wants to meet his favorite YouTube stars. Sean, you are now part of someone's favorite YouTube stars. All right, we got to go. We got to make sure he comes. So if you still want a book to be signed, the QR code on the left, that's on the website. That's on the Chameleon Academy website. There's 4 books left. And I'm not doing any game of trying to create scarcity. That I ordered a certain number of books to come to me so I could sign them, and there's only 4 not spoken for. They will print as many books as you want. Go to the international QR code. You don't have to be international. You can be in the U.S. and get and get it directly from the publisher. And after those 4 signed books are gone, then all of them are going to go to that QR code that's quotes international, but that just means it's from the publisher. And so this doesn't mean they won't be available. They are widely available. It's just I won't be able to sign them if they come from the publisher. And once again, how can there still be 4 left? You're right. I mean, you know what? Good question. But we can have, everybody wants to snap up those 4. And all right. I have been very hard at work figuring out what the content calendar is going to be for the Chameleon Academy outreach. And as many of you know, I am not a quotes YouTuber or even a podcaster. I have a Chameleon Academy outreach, which uses those as tools. And so I have to move them around as they are strategic. And so I worked very hard this week to put this together. So this is what it's going to be. We have 2 YouTube channels. The first is the regular Chameleon Academy YouTube channel, and that's where the long form videos are going to be. These are the tutorial videos, the vlog type videos, the traditional YouTube style videos. And the next one is the live streams, which is the channel that you're on right now. And this is where I'm going to have the 3 lives a week. Tuesday night open question and answer session, the Saturday workshop, which is where you are right now, and the Sunday just hanging out in Chameleon Chore Night. So those 3 are going to be on this channel. I'll go over the calendar. Then there is the podcast, and that is the audio podcast. This is what you can listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcast, any of those. And finally, there's the newsletter, which comes out every week. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go to chameleonacademy.com. You can sign up for the newsletter, and it has the topic of the week and certain discounts and all sorts of fun community news. So let's go ahead and see how that all fits together. This is your weekly calendar. So if you like chameleons, you're in luck. You're in the right place. So the week is going to start on Monday morning, and this is when the podcast is going to be released. On the most weeks, there's going to be a weekly topic. Sometimes things are independent, but most weeks are going to be a weekly topic. Podcast is going to be released on Mondays now. I debated, but it's going to be released on Mondays. It's going to be released as both an audio podcast, RSS feed, or as well as a YouTube video. Now, this YouTube video is meant to be listened to. It's not like your standard YouTubes. And if you saw last week's, the North Star one on YouTube, it's going to be exactly like that. And the next release will be Monday at 5 a.m. Pacific time. I said standard time, daylight time, whatever. And the newsletter will come out on Monday. And so Monday will be the big day to start the week. All this stuff goes out. Tuesday is going to be the standard question and answer session. Friday morning is going to be the YouTube premiere. That is where we get together at 5 a.m. in the morning and we chat during the first showing of the weekly YouTube video. And then Saturday, this is Saturday right now. This is what we're doing. And Chameleon Chore Night at 5 p.m. So, whew. So it's going to be quite the week for Chameleon lovers. We got stuff most days. Now, big question that I want everybody. So everybody pay attention. Please answer this question for me. I'll probably try it anyways. YouTube has this thing called a YouTube premiere, which means they start at the first showing of the video. They give us a live chat. And so we can talk. That's what we do on Fridays. And we start our day like that. It's really fun. Now, I'm going to be releasing the podcast on Monday morning, and I've been debating as to whether it should be a premiere or not. I mean, it's going to be like half an hour long, and it's mostly audio. So on one hand, does anybody want to really be there for half an hour and talking? On the other hand, a lot of people come in at the end. Like last week, a lot of people came in at the on Friday. A lot of people came in at the end. Justin came in and said, "Oh, is it over?" So I'm thinking, I'm going to try this as a premiere. It doesn't mean you have to stay for the entire time and chat away. You can come and you can go, but I think I'm going to do it as a premiere. And maybe it's going to work better because you're listening to it and you don't have to watch it. And so you can enjoy writing about it. I don't know. The wonderful thing about this Chameleon Academy outreach is I always try things that, who knows, people haven't done before. And so I do them. So that's what we're going to do. On Monday at 5 a.m., it's going to go out as a premiere. And I will be there as a chat. And I'll be there and talking. You can just drop by and say hello, or you can stay the entire time and listen to it and chat with me through the time. So, you know what? As with everything, we're going to try it. And I figure the more Chameleon stuff out there, the better. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, let's see. We'll love these podcasts on YouTube. I can't wait. I was really, did you see the last episode that I did? I was really proud of so what I do is I have a little introduction warning people that this is a listening thing. But then when we go into the podcast, I have something in the background. And last week I had this shamrock chameleon asleep. And in the background, the stars were slowly moving across the screen for half an hour. So that was fun. This one, for this video here, which is coming out on Monday, I just filmed one of these little baby panthers, actually squishy, filmed and just let the camera run. And so we're just going to be watching a baby chameleon do what they do, which is a lot of nothing. People will look at it and say, is this a still photo? Nope, that's a chameleon doing what chameleons do. So this will be a fun one on Monday. Let's start and end our week being able to talk to each other. I like that idea. Perfect. Well, then, you know what? We're going to try it. James loves being up that early. I'm going to give you a great reason to sit back, sip that coffee, and listen to a great podcast. So I'll be asleep by then, but I'll listen to it at work Monday evening. Excellent. We have an accord. That works. It was amazing. Talking about the last one. It relaxed me during work. These podcast videos are going to become my new favorite thing. I'm glad to hear that. So, and this one is going to be about uh, chameleons as pets. And it's going to talk to beginners who are wondering about chameleons as pets. But you know what? It's always useful for us who have been around or know what chameleons like are as pets to go back and remember what it's like when you first started. And it's I get a new perspective every time I think about that. So and I went into what happens after many years, or after a year or so, when you get the husbandry under your belt. What's a chameleon like as a pet then? So we explore different times in the chameleon keeper's life. So let's see, what's the next? Oh yeah, okay. All right. So are there any questions about, guys? I need to get a cup of water. So if you have any questions about the podcast or the content schedule, please put it in the chat and give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds. James, James, I need you to dance in the chat. I'll be right back with a cup of water. Dance, James. Woo. And so I suppose I ought to I ought to warn James so he can put on his dancing shoes. Careful, Stephanie. Bill's soothing voice will put you to sleep. Let's see. The Friday show comes out at 8 a.m. Eastern, which is doable. Excellent. Cash is already royalty and I am a servant. Good, Alicia. That is exactly how it should be when you have a chameleon. Thank you very much, James. Appreciate you entertaining the crowd while I got some water. All right. Well, we have a question and we have a cage analysis that was sent. And so let's go ahead and take a listen to this. Now, I'm going to be all of you here, you can read this. I am going to read this out loud for the people who are just listening, because we have people that listen to this at work, so they don't get to see the screen. So hang with me while I read the question. It says, I've had my male Ambanja panther chameleon for about a month now. We left him alone for a couple of weeks, other than feedings and taking care of the plants, so he could get used to his environment, like we did for our female. She will come out and crawl out onto our hands, no problem, but our male hisses and tries to bite. We don't bother them often, but occasionally want to interact so they get familiar with us. We've tried hand feeding, so he knows we mean no harm, but it doesn't work either. Do you have any suggestions? He seems content in his enclosure and doesn't get fired up until we close. Please advise. Okay. So the answer to this question, and of course, I can only give a high-level answer. I have the information that you have in front of that I just read. So what we don't know from this is the age of this panther chameleon. They say that they've had it for 1 month now. So that could mean that it's a 4-month-old, or a very young panther. It could mean it's an adult. But one thing to know about babies is and juveniles is that they are very nervous. Some of them are nervous. Maybe I should start with, every chameleon is different, and each chameleon is an individual, just like humans, just like any animal. And so your female may never view humans as a threat, and your male may always view humans as a threat. You can't tell. They are individuals. So that's one point one. Point two is, if this is a young panther, then this compounds a problem, because they're much more nervous as juveniles, because they're small and a lot of things eat them. So their DNA says always in danger. So he's being safe. He sees this big thing coming at him, and his lizard brain says, okay, when a big thing comes at you, that's that's bad. And so he's just reacting to what his instincts are telling him. And so I would say it just takes time. You've tried hand feeding. I don't know how successful that was. It doesn't say here, uh, but just continue. You just continue being the bearer of good things, and eventually, I mean, it'll go at their own pace. Some chameleons snap out of it really quick and they decide, hey, I really like this walking tree. It brings me food. Other chameleons, they don't see you as a walking tree that brings food. They see you as a potential predator that's always a danger to them. See, the thing is, and people who listen to the podcast coming up will hear me talk about this, but chameleons have to figure out what we are. There is nothing in their millions of years of evolution that tells them what a predator who likes to get close to them with their mouth, it's something that looks like a predator but brings food and wants to be around them. That just doesn't have an equivalent in their DNA, in their life. They're saying, what is this? So each chameleon has to figure out, what are we? And they've only got certain buckets to put us in. There is predators. There's those big animals that could walk by you and ignore you, but could crush you. Okay. There are trees. And, how do they figure out with the tools they have, what we are? So each one puts us in different buckets. That's just the way of it. And you just have to continue doing it. There's no way to force this. A lot of people say, I'm going to tame my chameleon. I'm going to force my chameleon to be tame. This is starting a relationship. What you're doing is you're controlling your chameleon. You're breaking your chameleon. And while that may give you what you're looking for as far as actions and behaviors, it's not giving you a healthy relationship. So we want to be positive in how we interact with our chameleon. So, and that's just a big, long way of saying, be patient, continue being the bearer of good things, continue bringing silkworms and treats. And I will tell you, as they get older, there comes a point where they just kind of snap out of it. And what they snap out of being a juvenile and subadult into an adult, and they have a personality change. What that is, once again, don't know. But if you are consistently the bearer of good things, that change to the adult confidence may change with a better view of who you are. So be patient and continue being the bearer of good things for the whole life of your chameleon, however long it takes. All right, let's see. We got lots of people coming. Stephanie caught 20 more hoppers today. Oh my goodness. Oh, we are so jealous. So jealous. And James is now making rhymes, I tell you. Oh boy. All right. Does anybody have any questions about I don't know if I want to call them taming or establishing a positive relationship with your chameleon? I mean, that is my big long answer to the question. But do you have any questions about what I said? Any or any observations? Anything you've tried? I think the important thing is to know that everybody's going to have a different experience, and just because your experience was good or bad doesn't mean somebody else's experience was going to be good or bad. And that's important to know, because some people just get the right chameleon that just loves, that has no problem. I got to be careful the words I use. So if I have a chameleon that has no problem, no fear of humans, well, what does that keeper think? I'm an animal whisperer. I'm a genius. I've learned how to tame chameleons, and I'm going to tell other people how to do it because I'm so special. Yeah, well, it doesn't work for everybody. Just because it worked for you, and it's not going to work for everybody. Um, Bill, oops. Bill, did you see the one-horned female xanths that Chris Anderson found in Kenya? I did. So Dr. Chris Anderson is over in Kenya with a biology class. He teaches biology. He's a professor of biology, and he's our chameleon scientist. We are great. We got 3 chameleon scientists. We got Dr. Chris Anderson, Dr. Michael Nash, and Dr. Mark Schertz. And although Dr. Mark Schertz likes frogs, I like to claim him anyways. And Dr. Anderson sent over some photos of some one-horned female xanths, and those beautiful. And I'm just wondering, how come we don't see those in captivity? And these weren't just the little I've seen the little horn nubs. Yeah, oh, they're so cute. No, these were actual. I mean, they were actual horns like you'd see on a Miramontanus, but it's on a Xantholophus female. It's like, wow, that was impressive. So I don't think, I know we don't realize how variable Jackson's chameleons are in Kenya. There are so many variation within the subspecies, so many different subspecies. It's a huge, I think scientists could spend their life figuring out that particular, you want to call them species or group. Those of us who have the book Mountain Dragons from Jan Stapa, you can see a lot of the variation. And by the way, if anybody doesn't have Mountain Dragons by Jan Stapala, he's a scientist who spent time in the Kenyan highlands, and he did a book on it. Beautiful photographs, and you get to see Jackson's chameleons, variations you've never seen before, helmeted chameleons you've never seen before. It's an amazing book, and there are less than 100 left in the world. There was one publishing run, and I have I think I have 7 left to sell. The author lives in England, and I'm the one who's distributing them in the United States through dragonstrand.com. If you want it, go to dragonstrand.com. I am in my last box. I'm seeing if there's any more left that I can get, but there's probably only one more batch that may be available because there was just one printing, and they are slowly dwindling. So get it now if you have any interest, because once these are sold, they're gone. That happens a lot with our chameleon books, but this one is awesome. So let's see. Don't force taming. Back off. Let the chameleon get comfortable. Excellent. Yes, I agree. I'm sure they will let me fly back from Utah with a bag of bugs on the plane. No, we'll just do a U.S. road trip where we just start in Utah, and then we just drop everybody else off on our way. Mountain Dragons is an amazing book. Yes, it is. I should have shown it. I wasn't planning on talking about it, but yeah. Should I bring my truck? Yes, James, bring your truck. We're going to fill it with grasshoppers. Do you get an update or notification if someone was to buy the book now? If you buy the book, I mean, it should say, are you talking about you want to make sure you're able to get one? Like if I go to Dragonstrand right now, you guys can't see this, but that's okay. You don't need to. Yeah. Okay. So there's 5 in stock. If you go to dragonstrand.com, I mean, here, I can actually show you. So just go to dragonstrand.com, and this is the product page. I mean, this is what you'll see when you go to dragonstrand.com. That's the new Crosscuts bioactive stand. doing a video on that soon. So we go all the way down here, go past the cages, which are really cool. We go to Mountain Dragons by Jan Stapala. Boom, baby. And there you go. So it says down here, there's 5 in stock. That's how many are left in the United States. And you just buy that. And when you buy one, the number of in stock will go down by 1. And so, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. All right. Oh, just walked outside. We're at 103. Oh my goodness. Do you have a pick with wheels on the stand extra shelf? I want to see it. Okay, you know what? I actually do. Nate is asking to see this with wheels on it. Where the heck is it? I put it. Oh my gosh, I put it. I'm sorry, Nate. I really thought I put it on. What happened? All right. So I got to do that after the show. Yeah, my website was giving me problems. So, yeah, just give it the time to go through all of the. It reserves your copy for an hour while it's all the payment stuff is going through. So, all right. Okay, we have a question, a cage analysis question. Excuse me. Oof. Nice. All right, so let's take a look at this cage. And I will start talking out loud just so you can see the kind of wheels that turn when I take a look at a cage and I analyze what it's like. Now, this is the only picture I have. I don't have information about the lighting or the hydration, so we're going to concentrate on how the cage is actually set up. This is for a female veiled chameleon. And we do see in the lower left-hand corner, we do have a place for her to go lay eggs if she's going to have infertile. She does look a little rotund, but I can't say for sure. So when we take a look at the cage, the first thing that we want to ask is there a place for her to hide? And in this case, it's hard to tell. There's a number of branches. It looks like there's some bendy vines going through. And even though there's a lot of plants, it doesn't look like there's any real dense area of leaves where she can get behind. Now, how important that is just really depends on the personality of the chameleon. If she is spending so much time sitting out there on a branch like she is right now and doesn't seem to want to be finding a hiding spot, you may be okay. And these are things for us to watch our chameleons. We look for behavior. Is she feeling content? Well, then you're even if you don't have the whole big setup the way I say you should have the setup, if your chameleon's content, well, they're the expert, so that's what you go for. When I say my standards, that is the standard that I give that is going to work with the most chameleons out there. So that's what I have to do because I'm talking to a large audience and I have hundreds, thousands of people that look at my videos, that listen to the podcast, that read the website. And so I need to give the most generic, what will work with the most number of chameleons. And so read everything I do in that light. You are going to have an individual chameleon that may have less needs than I am accounting for. They may have more needs than I'm accounting for. And so you need to be open to whatever your chameleon is telling you they need. And that's all about. And I'm working on a whole big episode about chameleon behavior. So let's see. Mike is asking, once your book is released for a while, any plans on doing an audiobook of it? Your educational content is always worth reading or listening to multiple times. I always pick up something new. Mike, I don't know that I will make an audiobook out of this book. It's certainly something I could do, but I do the podcast, and much of all of the stuff that I talk about are things that I talk about on the podcast. And so in this book, there really isn't a whole lot in this book that I haven't talked about before, or I won't talk about coming up. So the real value of the book is that in the way it puts it together and in the order it puts it together, it's in chronological order of like what you would expect in hatching, incubation and hatching. So it creates a scenario that's all contained. So that's what's very cool about books. That's why I love books. Even if the information is already out there, it's the way it's packaged is very special. But then you're going to say, yeah, so that would make a great podcast. I'll think about it. This is the second time somebody's asked about it, so it's not like it's a crazy idea. And I would love to read it. So I'll look into that. I will look into that. That's right. Okay. So with this girl, and let's look at the cages. One of these new import type cages. Let's see. It's the brand name is Oleo. I haven't heard about that one, but it's a hybrid cage. It has looks like glass and screen panels. Okay, interesting. Now the one thing I will bring up is that the drainage looks challenging. Having paper towels at the bottom of the cage to catch water is a rough way to go as far as proper hydration, because you're going to end up with a puddle down there, a little pond, and it's going to be very difficult to keep that clean, because once the poop hits, then it travels through the water, through the paper towels. So it really is not sanitary to use paper towels at the bottom of the cage, especially when plants are on top of the paper towels, because then it's not easy to move out the paper towels. It becomes a project. And when cleanliness is a project, then it doesn't get done as often as it should. And so I would put that forth as a caution in doing something like this. Julio is what my granny called butter. It was the first name that I could attribute to whatever that spelling was. So it's a fun one. So, all right, that is the last slide I have. Anybody else have any comments or questions you want to make about this cage analysis? As for what I would do to make it better, is just get those. First of all, get some drainage solution. I think with this cage, it looks like it's got a glass bottom, which makes it very difficult to do a drainage solution. So what you can do is have a substrate. Just make the bottom 6 inches. It looks like you can make that, put soil in there. So put a bottom layer of gravel and then soil on top. And then in one corner, I would have a big PVC pipe that goes down to the bottom to where I could put in a dry vac, wet dry vac, and just suck up all the water that goes to the bottom. And that's one way to take care of it. So, should I be cleaning up my little puddles? Alicia, if you have puddles, then yes. Puddles are not good in a chameleon cage. The problem is, of course, that when you have standing water, that gets mixed with poop, and then any escaped feeder insects can walk through. What you end up with is this little contaminated puddle, even if you can't see it. And then an escaped cricket will run through it, and then we'll get zapped by the chameleon. And so that's a way to uh, for your chameleon to get either parasites, and if you don't have parasites, then bacteria, and so it's an unhealthful situation. Now, if you're talking about like some cage, like you've got your typical Zoomed reptibres, and you're talking about these little puddles that form when after it mists and then it evaporates, that's not something you've got to worry about. It's not a panic situation. Those aren't the kind of puddles I'm talking about. In here, the thing is, this one looks like it's watertight. And the reptibres is not watertight. And so if that puddle flows in the reptibres, if it flows to the edges, it's going to drip out. In a cage like this, if I'm interpreting correctly, obviously I haven't had this cage before, so I don't know, but it looks like it's watertight, and that you could actually have a little puddle build up. I don't know that this person allows that to happen. So I'm talking in a general sense. So. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Joanne, everybody, this is a new channel, and and since this is a new channel, I have not yet earned the right to have monetization or super stickers. I think for super stickers, I need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. So it's going to be a while before I'm able to monetize the live channel. One of the sacrifices I made when I split things up, and but I very much appreciate your thought and your desire to support. I really appreciate it, Joanne. You've always been so supportive. I appreciate that. So we'll work. I'll work on building up that audience. So James says, I have a glass cage and recently phased out substrate. I clean up the puddles every morning before feeding pooping begins, so I don't have to worry about contamination throughout the day. Yeah, we would. We have we got to be careful about what's on the floor. So yeah. All right, everybody. Let's take a step back and relax a bit. It's been quite a week. And let me know what's going on for you this next week. Me, I'm going to be working on, I've got a video coming out that I'm working on for next Friday. And that's going to be on how to do a bioactive cage with our typical typical 2x2 by 4 foot tall cages. We have spent many decades, I would say, learning how to put together a cage. And then we added on this desire to do bioactive, which is great, except that requires that we put together the cage a little bit differently. If we really want to take advantage of having a bioactive, a soil floor, having a soil floor like that has no light, okay, you can have isopods down there, you can have leaf litter, but the question is, if you're going to do bioactive, why are you wanting bioactive? Is it just so you can have isopods at the bottom, or do you want something that's going to add to the environment for your chameleon? And so we're going to be talking about how to add to your environment for a chameleon. So, so that's what I'm going to be working on. And on Friday, we'll have that podcast about your pet chameleon. And so the question is, what are you guys working on this week? What are your chameleon plans? I know Alicia's uh, going to be working with Cash and getting that guy acclimated to his new life, which is going to be a lot of fun. Working on babies eating other things beside their flies. Yes, focusing on feeders, crickets, and small silkworms. That's my job. Yeah, small silkworms. Those are good. So, team building. Going to be seeing wild horses and OBX Lizardland. What the heck? Robin's got some imports coming in. Exciting. Redoing all the outdoor enclosures. So easy to say. So easy to say. It'll take all week to do that. Marchand's preparing the site for the new workshop. Excellent. So, whew. Well, I will be working on getting you guys a newsletter out on Monday, and I'm liking this schedule, and we're going to have all the information about next week in there as well. And so let's see, we have a little bit of time. Should we bring somebody out? There we go. These guys are growing slowly. They're growing, but they're growing slowly. So, oh well, but he's healthy. They're healthy. So, okay, let's see if we can get some focus on this guy. There we go. That's focused. So, do I use anything special to clean my flooring? When you're doing a spot clean, you can just use your paper towels. Sometimes I'll use a dish soap. I am careful about how I use the disinfectants, like the powerful disinfectants, unless I'm doing a deep clean. And by deep clean, I mean I take the bottom, the floor of the cage out. And that way, none of the fumes are going to affect the chameleon. But when I do just the spot clean, use a paper towel and maybe a little dish soap and water. That's what I did that there. Oh, Geraldine's going to set up a larger bin for dubious. Always love more feeder insects. Oh, and Susan is going to get the outdoor enclosure to move the male veiled outside. Veils do so well when they are outside. I have some male veileds who just live outdoors. I'm lucky. They live outdoors year round here in California, even through the winter. Yes, it gets down into the 40s at night, but it's clear during the day, and they're amazingly tough creatures. So, okay, let's do this question here. Thinking about getting another new age pet 4x2x2 to go on top of the one my bearded dragon is in. Depending on what I do for substrate, could I house a chameleon on the top cage, assuming the temperature doesn't spike? Well, if you are getting if it's only 2 feet tall, I mean, you could it would be a non-standard way of housing a chameleon. I would do a 4x2x4, and that way you'd really have a great chameleon cage to put on top there. Great results with food grade hydrogen peroxide. Yep. Yeah. Jason's going to be separating roach colonies. Okay. Maybe I should work with my green bananas. I don't know. They're Yvette's green bananas. So, all right, everybody. It is time to close down. I will be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific for the Chameleon chore night, and then meet me Monday morning on the other YouTube channel, and at 5 a.m. Pacific, and we can meet to watch/listen to the podcast together. So thank you all very much for making this a wonderful Saturday afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow and or Monday morning. Bye all.